surgeons don't go knock on doors. That's the best way I put that. When people are trying to understand this thing, we don't need to go out and sell and represent. I'm giving you the architect view.
How are you, sir?
Mr. Jordan, how are you?
I'm good. Where are you located?
I'm in Vegas.
Oh, nice. How long have you been in Vegas?
2 years.
And how do you like it?
It's nice. I mean, ever since COVID, I got here and I figured it was a great place to hang out and conferences. And I find that everyone flies in here. I fly in here all the time. I'm here like 7-8 days a month.
Oh, wow. So you're around that much? And are you just speaking the other days, or what are you doing?
Yeah, a lot of speaking, client travel, that sort of thing. I've been like a vagabond the last 25 plus years.
Well, that's cool. Now, usually when I do these meetings, I talk more about like what we do and then quickly go into questions, because I'm more interested in the questions of sort of like how it all comes together. And so, and then at the end, I can give you some insight and we'll sort of see what happens from there. But It's more about just sort of getting to know you. I mean, does that sound okay? Or did you have anything else that you wanted?
That's good. I mean, I've seen what you've done for a lot of friends of mine. I mean, everyone's going to say this, but I'm not a typical author, speaker, coach.
Sure.
I mean, I'm a software guy, and my main thing is I want to create jobs. And we think that all of our friends that are in Pakistan and the Philippines and whatnot, they need to build their personal brands. So they need to be publishing their knowledge, mini courses, webinars, YouTubes, all this kind of stuff. So, whatever I do, I want to make as a template for them to be able to do. And our team has built this WordPress generator where it basically generates separate WordPress instances based on some input data. And it's not meant to like be customized or, like the kind of stuff you're doing for Shep or Mark or these other folks. We're just trying to make it really easy so that everybody, even our friends that are local service businesses, so attorneys, real estate agents, we serve a lot of local service businesses. That's where all our money comes from. And all of them want to be figureheads in their community, where they publish blog posts on 3 things you need to do before, you talk to your insurance company, or, 5 things about where the real estate market is headed in 2023, this sort of thing. So everyone's an influencer public figure, right?
I mean, I'm sort of like trying to understand like the nature of it. I mean, I feel like that ChatGPT has really upended the nature of content generation in the past 60 days. And again, I'm not trying to dissuade you, because I do think that the smart people will continue to make this content.
I just taught an hour-long webinar with 500 plus people half an hour ago, just demonstrating what you can do with ChatGPT. That's the number one topic people want for our training right now. So we've been delivering that. Sure.
Well, I mean, I think that's great, but I'm just trying to figure out. So just tell me the VA business. Mm-hmm. So can we just start with the origin story of just sort of like your history? Just kind of, again, at the end of the day, we'll want to know. Like, just give me the Dennis Yu history in, the 60 to 90 second.
I got you. Early employee at Yahoo, search engine engineer, learned about technology and building scalable systems for marketplaces, people that get together, supply and demand, and the ultimate 2-sided marketplaces for jobs. So the supply side are our VAs in these developing countries, and the demand side is local service businesses. We believe that everyone should be communicating through 1-minute videos, sharing their knowledge, sharing gratitude, sharing what's going on in their life. We have a whole model on how you make 1-minute videos. And then I'm well known for the $1 a day model. So the $1 a day strategy is how we boost that to people in our community, to people in our email list, to remarketing audiences, to be able to get more sales and leads and drive the whole marketing funnel, right? 1-minute video, $1 a day. We teach that. We have our partnerships with HubSpot and Fiverr and other sorts of folks, that you name it, Social Media Examiner, digital marketer, all the sorts of places you'd expect that, you speak and teach, because that's what brings together the supply and demand side. So ultimately, we're building this marketplace that brings both of those sides together. But
how is this different? How is this? I'm not sure if I understand. So are you trying to replace a Fiverr?
No, Fiverr is random. You hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork. They're a partner of ours. We just did a webinar half an hour ago, right? They're writing about me on their blog. I get to contribute. When you have one-off stuff, you can put that on Fiverr. But if you're a personal injury attorney, you're not going to go to Fiverr and hire these random people to do random things and negotiate each of these things. You want there to be a consistent model that we teach. We have a whole operating system. Everything's tied together.
Are you trying to teach people how to leverage remote labor? Is that what you're trying? And you're also
that's part of it. I mean,
labor how to be more effective as an ongoing creating retainer type relationships.
So we teach transparently how we do everything. How do we hire VAs? How do we build courses and certifications for them to be able to go through? How we do SEO, how we build websites, how we use ClickFunnels, Facebook ads. We teach all of that. We have 130 courses. So everyone's welcome, whether you're a VA or you're a business owner, you're welcome to see the courses that we have. But if you're a local service business, you don't want to mess around with all that kind of stuff, with trying to hire VAs and screen them and manage them. So our marketplace is scoring these businesses. So we come in and score your website. And we see, you know what, you're ranking number 3 on real estate, San Diego, whatever it is. And the reason why is because of this, this, and this. Just like you walk into a hospital, you have chest pain. So Jordan, I took a look at your x-rays. I know you think you need heart surgery, but really it's heartburn because you had spicy Mexican food, right? In Portugal somewhere. Because of the diagnosis and the analytics that we have, we can then recommend certain people who are certified to fix those particular tasks. We have 1,000 tasks in what we call the task library, and everyone gets certified to do a particular task. So it's closer to a hospital model. They're not coming in and choosing. We're doing.
Well, you're looking at like more making. You have a productized service business, and where is this? This is at Blitz Media, or what is this?
No, it's on yourcontentfactory.com, but we've been doing very light testing on it. So it's not going to be general availability for those 6 months. So there's not much there right now that you can publicly see.
I have a friend who has a productized service model that I know at least have seen evolve into something different. I mean, he does stuff just for HubSpot, and he's like the biggest productized service company for HubSpot and does a great business out of that. But through that, I've like had him, he's like sort of explained the evolution of them moving into tasks and trays and workflows. Is that the same thing that you're trying to do here for just local businesses? Because I see like there's one thing about the certification, but then there's another thing that is the productized service for like you can do a cold email or a cold call to a real estate attorney and say, hey, listen, you're not ranking well in SEO.
Right.
You know, if you want to fix that, we could do that. We also might do 3 other things at the same time in this order and charge you a certain amount of money, $1,500 a month to do it. And we could do this much this month, this much next month, and then so on. We get into paid ads 6 months from now.
Yeah, it's similar to that. And with the productized services, that started with Design Pickle, which was a client of ours. And there's other versions, which are the Uber-esque, the Uberifying of different industries. But our view is slightly different. So instead of just selling a monthly SEO, a monthly video editing, a monthly HubSpot, or whatever it is, we have 3 components, Jordan, that we're tying together. One is the analytics. So when you come in, we X-ray the business and find things that are broken based on basically, filters, like common if-then statements that are from all the best people in the industry, in social media, digital marketing. They've all contributed their knowledge. So we apply these scans so nobody can argue with the way that we do these MRIs. So the dashboard analytics part's one. Number 2 is that when the system finds things that are wrong, we have associated training on how to fix it. So Jordan, we scan your website, we scan your social, we scan, whatever. And here's the things that we found that are wrong. Here's the training on how to fix these particular items. You can go ahead and go through all that training all by yourself, or you can buy these particular items and then we will take care of it right there. So tools like SPP allow productized services to be able to execute upon that. So we have the marketplace through an SPP, but we're building our own. We have our academy, which is all of our courses. Then we have our dashboard, which is all the analytics. So there's actually 3 pieces that all must tie together, because without the authority of being known for the training and the courses and the speaking and all that, we don't drive people to the dashboard where they get scored, which then drives people into the marketplace, which is to buy productized services.
And so what are you thinking of when you talk about what do you want? What would you think about us helping you with? Because I could talk to you about multiple ways of selling. Obviously we're involved in helping sell websites and authority through the web. Like to me, I feel like that clarification as to the front door, how we get to the front door is kind of like what I would be looking for. I think that you've got excellent points and excellent like terminology and things that Jules MRI is amazing. and stuff like that, that you could pull out. But I also think that, we've been talking about this for a few minutes and I'm relatively savvy. And I just think that we could simplify and also just clarify the front door, because the how is a lot less important than what's your problem and we can fix it. And then
let me give you an architect view.
Your free training though is great. You're like, oh, you can do it yourself. It's just really hard and it's going to take forever, but you can do it. And here's how you do it.
I want to reframe things for you in a way you maybe have never thought about.
Okay.
So the model that you're coming from is, how do I sell more? How do I convince people? That's like knocking on doors. That's ads. That's, trying to get hired to speak, or, I get that. That's marketing. But we have the hospital model. People are coming into the hospital. And so we have a very unique advantage, and we want to leverage the advantage. So we have the authority when it comes to digital marketing, when it comes to social media, when it comes to all that. Surgeons don't go knock on doors. That's the best way I put that. When people are trying to understand this thing, we don't need to go out and sell and represent. I'm giving you the architect view, right? The architect view is, if you are a worker, you're in Pakistan, well, the view is different, because, hey, you can go through our training for free and you can get a job that pays $500 a month, which is life-changing income. If you get certified, you can come into our content factory and learn how to do these things and be able to skill up. If you're a business owner, then who gives a shit about who I am? So if you're in real estate, you know who Tom Ferry is. Tom Ferry is the best known guy.
I know he is. Sure.
Yeah. So we have a master class with Tom Ferry on digital marketing that runs through the scorecard that we have, and they can go through the training, but they can also then, we want them to go through the audit, right? This, what we call the quick audit, which is this MRI scanning all these different things. So then they can see in particular what they need to do. So we've done this with the Tom Ferries, who are what we call lighthouses. So I have the Tom Ferry of real estate, of home services, of personal injury, of mortgage, of like whatever, of dentists. I have the Tom Ferry, and we have already made these courses. So it's relying upon the trust that each people in that industry has for the top person in their industry, with training that we've already made, which we're putting all this free education out, because I don't know anything about being a dentist, right? But Glenn Vo is a successful dentist that has 35,000 dentists that follow him. He happens to be a client. Tommy Mello, he's the number one home services business. He does $1 billion, and all the other home service businesses follow him. He's got the big podcast. He has the conference. He's a client. So when we put out training, then these people come through and they see this is the way that Tommy Mello does it. So we're going to follow the same thing. Come get our free audit. And here's the things that I need to fix for my particular plumbing HVAC company in Dallas. Right. So it's not about my positioning. I'm more of like a wizard behind the curtain.
Are you basically the agency, the productized service agency model that's just servicing his clients? Is that the goal?
So we believe that all agencies need to be verticalized. So under Glenn Vo, we put it under Glenn Vo. Under Tom Ferry, we put it under Tom Ferry. So we put it under the name that they already trust. Under Caleb Williams,
operating as a white label. You're operating as a white label for that person.
It's a co-brand. Like a white label is completely hidden. A co-brand is Tom Ferry, powered by Blitzmetric, powered by the Content Factory.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. But and then they just get a percentage of the revenue that comes through.
Because they don't want to run a productized service, but they realize
their members. It's not their business.
These guys, they sell coaching, they have masterminds, they sell books, they do all that kind of stuff, but they don't have the productized service is complementary to what they already have.
Oh, that's cool. What would you need help from our side? Because we can, again, like looking at how to put together the general template for the Content Factory page, or are you looking at the Dennis U page, or a combination of
those? It could be a combination of all those. So there's different levels in the factory. So there's me as like the master architect. Some people may want to know something about me. I think most people, they don't care. They trust their figurehead in their industry.
Well, to me, I think that your best use of time is selling more Tom Ferries on getting in.
I'm trying my very hardest to shift you from that. I don't need more Tom Ferries. I don't need more people on the supply side. I already have, it sounds like I'm boasting, but I already have all those relationships, right? Our biggest thing is that we have huge demand we cannot service. We have hundreds of attorneys and real estate agents and home, like these guys are all ready to buy, but our biggest bottleneck is that we don't have enough people that are qualified on the VA side. But the funny thing is we have millions of VAs in our network. And I'm probably the most famous person in Pakistan. I have 1 million followers on Facebook, mainly from Pakistan, right? So the learning management system and all that kind of stuff is actually our key bottleneck. But I want all these guys to be able to have a personal brand website talking about what they do. Like, oh, I do local SEO, I do WordPress, I do, whatever, right? So they can build their brand, which helps them develop as they go through our training.
How are you because to some degree, the average real estate agent need some sort of agency or someone to sort of combine the skills of SEO guy. And then separately, you need someone like maybe technical SEO versus a content SEO versus, someone who's going to design your business cards.
Yeah.
Are you providing all of these services, and how does that come together?
Okay, so this is the hospital model. So when you go to a restaurant or a juice bar, you're like, you know what? I'll have this kind of beef and I'll have this side order. And you're ordering stuff at the restaurant. The hospital model, you don't order at the hospital. The hospital does the x-ray and all this, and the hospital prescribes to you based on a diagnosis.
And that's sort of like the productized aspect of it, where you're going to say, here's what you need in this order.
But most productized services, because it's still new, people are just deciding, do I want the small video package or do I want the large video package? One's $500 a month, one's $1,000 a month. So there's still this Chipotle supersized choosing. That is not our model. Our model is not on selling or convincing or consumer choice. Our model is, this is the way we do things at the hospital. And if you want to come in and get scanned, we will do this, but we're not here to coach. We're not here to consult. We're not here to train you. We do have training, but this isn't a typical agency is trying to convince, is trying to doing what we're doing right here in this thing here, listening to their needs.
No, but I think though that what you're trying to do is trying to convey such confidence through the way that you position the MRI to say, this is what the data says that you need. This is the order in which you need it. This is how you can do it. I can't tell you to take the pill. I can just tell you these are the pills you need to get better.
Right. And if you want to go through our regimen, then you have to take the pill. You have to brush your teeth. You have to get 8 hours of sleep. You have to make some 1-minute videos, and then our team will do the rest. So that's what it is. The idea of a productized service is that it's implementation. It's not coaching. It's not custom building. It's not let's talk about strategy, right? It's this is what it is, and this is what you need to do, right? You're way overweight, and the doctor says that, if you don't change your life, you're going to have a heart attack and die. This is what you need to do. So they're coming to us in an emergency situation. This is not optional. This is not elective. This is not what, I'd like to have a nicer website. That's not it at all. If you want to do it, this is the way we do it. And this is our process. And we already have the trust. So it's not like I have to establish this kind of trust, or I hope one day that I already have it.
Sure.
It's a huge advantage. I want to leverage that advantage.
Sure. And is advantage though a software advantage, or is it just your
It's a credibility that leads to software advantage. Without, it's like a 3-legged stool. You miss one leg, you're dead. So we have to have the credibility that drives people into the audit, and then the audit leads to the implementation, right? So we have to have the productized service and the analytics and the industry authority. We have all those now. Well, we have the industry authority, but the software, the productized service part needs some help. The training we have is pretty solid. We've got 130 courses. They're all broken down into checklists.
Are you selling those courses or no?
We've made a few $1 million selling these courses, largely to business owners that want to employ VAs. So they buy the courses on behalf of their VAs, where they learn about business strategy or, things like that. But our belief is that all content is trying to become free, and people don't want to buy courses or read blog posts. They just want the result.
Sure. People, you just want an expert to go fix my problem.
Yeah. You're a personal injury attorney. You do $100 million a year. You don't have time to go through Dennis's courses.
Sure. And so do you have clients now already in this? And how are you getting those clients before you had the Content Factory up? Just through personal
reputation, just pure reputation. Publishing on the largest sites for social media, digital marketing, that kind of thing.
And so now you want to create some sort of system to me, I would think that what you'd really just be looking for is for these people to have a business card. I'm assuming that you're looking for these people to have their own business card so they'll show their friends, so more friends will get certified, so more friends will join the network. So that, I think that would be as more effective than even the site itself is less important than the site inwardly facing to your other people to say, wow, I got this really cool business card from this digital business card from Dennis. Oh, I would love to have one of those. How do you do it? Well, you take the course and you pass the test, and then you can get one too.
Yeah. Well, that's like a selling, door-to-door ML. That's the thing. That's the exact opposite of what we do. Here, let me reframe it this way. Everyone is a personal brand. Sure. And a lot of business owners, they hide behind the idea of their business. So Isaacs and Isaacs attorneys, right? But there's Daryl Isaacs, who's the actual person. And Denton Smiles is a great dentistry, but Dr. Glenn Vo is a person. He's the owner. He's the one who started it. He's the person. And, Samir Aslan is a freelancer, and he does SEO and processes video. And, he's a person. So the idea of a personal brand website, whether you're a freelancer, basically work on our system, or you're a small business owner, a local service business, plumber, doctor, real estate agent, they all need a personal brand website that has 1-minute videos that talks about who they are, that talks about the relationships, that talks about their business, that talks about what we call the 3x3 grid, which is 9 videos that are made in a certain way. We want everyone to have one of these websites. So they make their 9 videos, upload it to us, and then that gets injected into a personal brand website. And I'd love to be the shining example of how I've got my 9 videos and it's there. And of course it leads to, the standard brand website has here's the big hero picture. There's an about page. It links to my socials. So my Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. And then it's just a template that we can spin out, whether they're a tiny small business owner or a big one or a freelancer. We want everyone to have a personal brand website. And as they go through a certification, then that part gets updated. As they achieve something, that gets updated. Automatically, it gets pushed through WordPress.
The biggest issue that I have with making small brand websites, and this is the harder part about scaling, we can talk about it, and I have ways that I do it, but the issue is that if you don't have access to decent or high quality photos, even just one photo, it's hard to make a brand about yourself without that image. And so the question is, how do you get around that?
So the answer is we have training, and we say, this is what you do, right? Send this to your son, and they can take pictures using an iPhone, using our techniques. So our courses are helping them DIY on the necessary ingredients for input. But if their background image or whatever is bad, if the profile photo is bad, then it is what it is. I'm not super concerned about that, because they're going to be using it on social media anyway. If their social media is garbage, it's reusing of the same assets. So we're inventorying all these assets that get distributed. We have a whole process we call the content factory, and how we distribute those across their Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Google My Business, TikTok, that kind of thing.
And so is all of this created through software that you already built, or are you doing this manually with VAs at the moment to sort of until you build the technology?
It's mostly manual, and we have a Frankenstein of other pieces of software that we've built and we're integrating with.
Are you using Airtable, or what do you use for the?
No, I mean, Airtable, we're actual software engineers.
Okay, so you're making
it's in the
your
database, yeah. Forms in the database, and then different tools to try to rejigger the stuff. I mean, we have 500 VAs that just process images for our sock factory operation. So we send one of our businesses, we send out socks with people's faces on them, right? Mm-hmm. So we're processing this at scale with software that we built.
And so what you're talking about making these as WordPress websites, and you just want designs for a website that would maybe be functional with assets that would work with or without a hero image. And then also,
I'm assuming there's going to be a hero image, and if it sucks, it sucks. But
the thing that I do now is I separate the person from the background, and that's like step one.
Yeah.
And then so that's okay, that's step one. I mean, but depending on how sophisticated your VA is, will depend on sort of like the level of which you might get an image. And there's no guarantee, but I just,
right.
A VA that makes $2,000 a month is going to probably deliver you an image that will be more on par with what you want than maybe a VA that makes less than 1,000 or less.
Say. It could be true, but I'm not too worried about that part.
But I mean, you want, what's the goal is that they're all going to have.
With websites, if you don't get traffic, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
So it's a lot of the 1-minute videos and repurposing existing content. The website just happens to be the hub of that. So we can get a knowledge panel and other things.
Sure. Well, what do you think that we could be? So you would like from us is maybe make the base model for these personal brand websites in a way that's sort of scalable.
Yeah, that we can just replicate out, that doesn't have themes, because themes will, hurt us. It just basically has to be basic styling, CSS, HTML, so we can multiply out these sites that are going to be form driven. People fill out these forms, they make their videos, our system grabs the videos that they're making on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and just injects it into the site. There's no like design consideration, except maybe we'll have, a few VAs that will make it a little nicer looking for the businesses, but bare bones, basically to rank, to be able to show their content, because most people don't even have a personal brand website. They'll have a website for their business. They'll have if they're a seller, they have a Fiverr profile, but they don't have a personal brand website. And there's a lot of garbagey websites out there, a lot of themes and templates and things like that,
Oh, cool. So is that's all you want? And you're not interested in redoing Dennis U?
I mean, I'd like to, but I want to make sure anything that we do is an example for other people to follow. Everything we want to do is, we want to make it repeatable, right?
Sure. I mean, I think the only thing, it's easy for us to do something that goes from from 3 videos to 9 videos to however many, like creating something. We don't create websites for today. We create websites for today, tomorrow, and 3 years from now. If you just want to just jot down like the sort of which sites, if that's the main thing, like your site, that would be the basis for all of the others. Yeah. If that's the main thing, then that's totally cool. If you wanted any input on any of the other marketing sites, like we're happy to talk about that too, but just let me know what you'd be thinking about, and I can have a think about it, and then maybe we can have another talk, and I can put together some ideas.
Well, I can. It's so simple. I'll just answer it in 30 seconds. I want a personal brand website that can be driven by forms, where people fill out a form about their business or stuff that we collect about them, and it creates a, jordanhoward.com or whatever. We provision the domain on GoDaddy or get something similar. There's no customization, whatever it is, but our people then put all the materials that are in there, and that way we rank up for their knowledge panel on who they are, what they do, their why, how, and what, which are the top, middle, and bottom of the funnel videos that we ask them to make. If they don't make the videos, we put in place a ChatGPT article or other stuff we assemble.
All of this stuff is totally doable. The question, I guess, would be, would you have the tech infrastructure to put it together? Like for us to design it, totally doable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have the tech to multiply these sites and do all kinds of stuff. If it can be, from an engineering standpoint, if it can be done, we can do it.
We could do technically, but we don't do that because it's not how we make money.
No, we are the engineers, so don't worry about it.
Okay, good. Okay, well then that's a great fit.
I am an engineer. Yep, that's
a great fit. For us to do it conceptually, put it together and all that stuff. Let me think about it for a couple of days. I'll come back. We'll circle back next week.
Awesome. You're amazing, Jordan. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.